Okay, whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, my special guest, and actually almost my neighbor, is Andrew Foliato. He owns a company called Just Sell Homes and also REM Magazine, which many of you are familiar with. Andrew and I have known each other for a long time. We've worked together. We help real estate agents generate leads and follow up with their leads and make money. Andrew, go ahead and give everybody a little introduction about who you are and what you do for realtors.
So we've been doing this now almost 10 years. So I was a real estate agent in the same area you sold. And then, but I mean, before I actually found your stuff, I was just door knocking, cold calling, all that stuff. It really did not work for me. Even though I did get a deal on the second house I ever door knocked on, I thought this was going to be a really easy business. Did not turn out that way. And then I went to one of your half day seminars and just started implementing like crazy everything you taught us during the half day. And like right away, leads started coming in. And that just kind of led over time to, long story short, starting a marketing agency where we basically implement marketing for people, lead gen. And then we reconnected again a couple of years ago. I think it was over a chat GPT discussion.
It was, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, look, my job is to always keep my eye out for people that are awesome in the real estate industry. And yeah, I knew you. I've been watching you, and so I think you do a great job for realtors. And I wanted to make sure that everybody gets introduced to you here today. The company is called Just Sell Homes, and obviously, that's what real estate agents would really like to do is
Yeah.
just focus on what they're good at. So, explain what you do for agents so they can actually just focus on selling homes.
So we're gonna have two main components. The first one is we just take over running your Facebook ads for you. So you can just sell homes. We stay up to date on what's working. We kind of take learnings across the different people we work with and then bring them across. So basically, we're always trying the things that get you the best results with your Facebook ads. And then on the organic side, it's more of a training platform where it's like because the best content on your organic socials coming from you.
Mhm.
So we'll work with you on like what videos you should shoot, how you should do that. But it's more of a training than it is us doing it for you. So on the paid side, we just do it for you, and then we call it a done with you on the organic social side. But basically, the goal is get you clients from social media.
I think there's two things I want to address, which is number one thing is many realtors don't know how to do what you just described. And they use that as an excuse. It's like, well, I don't like it or I don't know how to do it. And I want to make it clear to everybody that you don't have to know how to do something to get something done for you. An analogy I like to use is when I go to my car and I press the start button, I have no idea how that works. I'm just glad my car starts, right? But a lot of real estate agents kind of use that as an out. Like, I'm not good with technology. I don't understand Facebook or social media marketing. You don't have to. You can hire somebody to take care of that for you, and that's what Andrew does, and he does that for all of our Craig Proctor coaching members. I give the intellectual property, the ads to our members. They decide who they want to target, what type of buyers and sellers they want to target. And then Andrew's company, Just Sell Homes, runs the ads for them. So that was number one thing is you don't have to know how to do something to have it done for you. The number two thing is just because you know how to do it doesn't mean you should be doing it. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
I've
talk
taken off
about
your plate.
yeah. So let's talk about that for a minute. So some of you, might be thinking right now, well, hang on a minute, Craig. I actually know how to do it. I'm pretty good with it. I understand social media. I understand retargeting. I'm good at this. I can do this myself. Okay, but should you? Right? What we want to look at is where are you going to be most dollar productive? What are your rainmaker activities? And if you can pay Andrew's company less than what you're worth per hour, you're better to go out and list homes and be working with buyers and sellers and making your follow-up calls than running the ads. So if you don't know how to do it, you're going to hire Andrew. If you do know how to do it, you're still going to hire Andrew. Okay. So let's change the conversation now to what is the overall big issues that agents are having right now in this marketplace?
So, I mean, on social specifically, it's the same thing we see time and time again, which is they're spending hours on it, but they don't have a plan and they don't have a system to actually bring in leads from what they're doing. Like the amount of time we see wasted on social is ridiculous. Like we see people spending hours posting another just listed, and even how they're posting them isn't bringing in leads. So it's like you have to have that plan. Because like back when I started in real estate, you could kind of just fake Facebook. And at the time, it was only Facebook and Twitter, but like you could kind of half fake it because it was so easy. You can't do that anymore. Like there's too much competition, too many people doing it. You need to have that specific plan with the right messaging, the right offers, or you're just not going to get people reaching out anymore.
Okay, so I would say yes, there's a lot of real estate agents that confuse activity with
Yeah.
progress, right? So they're posting, they're posting, and how many of you are experiencing that right now where the time that you invest in posting stuff on social media, you're not really getting a return on that. In fact, you're not making any money from it at all. And it's something that you do because you've been told to do it, right? So every real estate agent is told you got to use social media. That's accepted. But there's an actual strategy. And that strategy is number one, your ad has to reach the people that you want to be reaching, right? Like you don't want to be talking to people that don't want to buy or sell. You don't want to be talking to people that are 14 years old. So we want to hit the right target audience. Number two, we've got to use the right copy in our ads to attract the people that see the ad so they want to stop and they want to read it. And that means we got to make a really good offer so they actually do the thing that we want them to do, which is respond. Now, they can have all that right, and you can be generating a lot of leads and not know how to convert them. So there's a second part to this is how do I attract the people I want? And just because I attract those leads doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do business with me because I don't have a proper retargeting, a proper follow-up system. However, the good news is when you get this right, what happens is people call you because they feel like they know you and you're offering something they really, really want. And you get calls and they say something like this, Craig, we'd like to list our home with you, right? Or we'd like to at least interview you. The best ones are like, come and get us. So really what we're trying to do with all of our marketing is to get people to know us and like us and trust us and create this overall awareness. So the heavy lifting is really done by the marketing. And this is what's wrong with the other strategy that agents are using, which is buying leads, or as Andrew said, cold calling and door knocking. Yeah, of course we don't like that because we get rejected and people don't know who you are. And it's uphill battle selling. You're a stranger, you're poorly positioned. Same thing when you're buying leads with Zillow. First of all, they don't answer the phone. 2 or 3 out of 100 answer the phone. And when you reach them, they blow you off because they don't know who you are. So this is about creating a business where you are attracting the right people. They're being exposed to who you are, what makes you different, what makes you better, what offers you have. So the whole entire marketing plan is designed to create this omnipresence where people know who you are and they know what makes you different and better, and they're going to call you. So to make that happen, because that's what we all want, what is necessary? What does an agent need to do other than just post stuff on social media?
So I mean, right now, one of the things you always have to pay attention to social is what are the different platforms pushing today? Because that's where they're going to push the most attention to. So like Instagram right now, it's Reels. And the beauty of Reels today is the discovery feed, which is like it used to be like traditional social media was you would go and post and it would show to people that followed you and you had to get people to follow you to see it. Now, though, they're showing it to people who Reels specifically to people who don't follow you yet. So like I'll post a reel and 80% of my views come from people who don't follow me yet. So I just take that. Like, so for example, like if you're a Craig coaching member, go grab one of the ads and create a reel out of the exact, like use the exact language in it, create a reel out of it. That's going to people that don't follow you yet. And then you could just do a really simple call to action. It's like DM me, like one that we were telling someone to shoot was just hey, here's the 3 things I look for in homes with pools. 1, 2, 3, DM me pools to get a list of homes with pools in your area. And then they DM you pools and then you just start sending them the list and then you qualify them right there over the DMs. and then you try to drive them to a phone call from there. But it's not, you just take the same messaging and you just adapt it into a reel for people. And without even spending on ads at that point, you're now getting it in front of people that don't follow you yet. And then if you want to kind of pour some gas on, then you put some ad spend on top of those reels and really start driving them in.
I like putting the gas on it. So the strategy is really important, and we always want our clients to actually understand this. I know you can buy your leads, obviously, and we know how that works out, not very well. You can have a company that doesn't involve you, and so we call that abdication of your marketing. If you hired somebody that just you say, okay, go run my social media, go run my ads, and you're not really involved, you don't really understand it, that's not a good situation. We always want our clients to be involved in this so they actually understand it, right? The biggest investment and engine behind your real estate business is lead generation and conversion. Without those two things, you really don't have a business. There are a lot of really technically sound real estate agents. I mean, they're experienced, they're hardworking, they're ethical, they're great negotiators. They have all of what it takes to be a great agent. But obviously, if you don't have anyone to sell to, you're going to starve to death. So, and the opposite's true. If you take a look at my story, nobody knew me when I got into real estate. Within 36 months, I became the #1 Remax agent in the world when I only had my license for 3 years, never sold anything in my life before. That's just a perfect example of fame can be created, right? It's invented. Nobody knew who I was, right? So this is what we're able to do with social media. It really is the best way, inexpensively, to reach people. And when they start to consume your information and they start to watch you, as weird as it may sound, they feel like they kind of get to know your personality. Like right now, you folks are like judging us, I guess, right? It's like, hey, this Andrew guy, do I like him? This Craig Proctor guy, what's he all about? So some of you have never watched us before. So we're actually doing what we're suggesting you do, right? We want to provide you helpful content, explain to you what top agents are doing, explain the strategy. And some of you are going to say, well, you know what? I like Craig's approach. I like Andrew's approach. I like to work with these guys. This totally makes sense. Nobody's really explained it to me this way before. And so what happens now is you watch my stuff and then we start to retarget you and you start to see me over and over again. Well, that's exactly what we want you folks to do in your real estate business. We love referral business. We honestly do. And I can show you how to get more referrals. We've got some really cool strategies on how to get more referrals from people that know you and love you and, your sphere of influence. But let's be honest here. There's a heck of a lot more people in the world that don't know you than people that do know you. So that's why we need to use social media to reach out to not just the people you know, but the real opportunity is the people you don't know. Where the follow-up plan comes in is, oh my God, what a beautiful world it would be if everybody that you reached with your content called you and said, I'm ready to list my house today. That'd be great, right? We wouldn't even need a follow-up strategy, right? If everybody that you talk to said, I'm ready to buy today, I'm ready to sell today, we wouldn't need any follow-up at all. It would be easy, but we know it's the opposite. We know that most of the people we talk to, probably, 80% of them, who are actually going to sell, the problem is they're not going to sell right now. Some of them will, but most of them won't. They're like 2 weeks or 2 months or whatever down the road. So we need a method of, number one, talking to a lot of people, right? And then we need to be following up and retargeting them. So the people that aren't ready today are not going to forget about us 2 months or a year down the road. Anything you want to speak on that, Andrew?
Yeah, like it's a really interesting thing that no one puts that effort in. Like where we look at it too is like you can use different features of them to accomplish both the bring new people in and nurture the old. Right? Like Instagram, going back to that, because that's what we've been using the most success for people, is like reels for new, stories for old. And the beauty of stories is every reply is a one-to-one private conversation. So you're having these private conversations with people where they'll actually tell you the real information about them. Like that's one thing that like a lot of people seem to focus really on the feed post, which is a big mistake. Because no one's going to go on there and be like, I've been pre-approved for this much. This is how much I have for a down payment, and a fee that everybody can see. So we're trying to drive everyone we can to a private message. Like everyone who has success on social probably spends 60 to 70% of their time on the DM side of the platforms. So we're having those private conversations, driving them in there. Then we try to get them out of that into a platform that you own, and then you retarget the hell out of them, email them like crazy. And you kind of don't let them go at that point, but you got to get them there first. And most people try to go straight from I'm just random feed posts to their client. And you have to think about that process along the way.
Okay, that was very well said. People don't like to generally talk on the phone, right? Not as much. So this is how you talk to people without actually talking to them, right? You're communicating them
Yeah.
online without them having to. People find it. A lot of people don't like to talk on the phone. We're real estate agents, and sometimes we don't even like it when our phone rings. I think you guys have all had this situation where maybe you're texting back and forth with a friend. You kick back on the couch, you're kind of relaxed, and you're having a text conversation with your friend, and all of a sudden your friend calls you, like, oh, why did he have to do that? It was like, I don't want to talk to you right now. So our prospects, it's non-threatening or less threatening for them to be able to communicate with you without picking up the phone and calling you. That's like the baby step to get that phone
Yeah.
conversation.
They have that comfort of like, okay, I'm on my Instagram account. Like it's like, especially like millennials and younger, there's like this fear that if I get on the phone with someone in sales, they're going to trick me and convince me to do something I don't want to do. But when it's text message or Instagram DMs or whatever, like they feel a little more control and more safe because at any point they can just stop answering, where that's rude if you're on a live phone call with someone. So like they have that control. So we let them feel that control until we get to that point where we've asked enough questions, learned enough to say, because of what you just told me, here's what we should do next. Let's jump on a 15-minute call. I'll walk you through the options and you'll be able to see what's best for you. But once you get to that point where you can say, because of what you've told me, here's what we should do next, keep them on the DM side.
Let us know if this is making sense to you. Go ahead and let us know what city you sell real estate in if you haven't checked in already. I'm interviewing Andrew Foliato. He's the owner of Just Sell Homes, okay, which is a company that runs your social media, runs your Facebook ads. So you actually can just focus on just selling homes. I am Craig Proctor, a real estate coach. Been doing this now for almost 30 years. Andrew and I actually live probably about 15 minutes away from each other. And we work together to help Craig Proctor coaching members generate leads and follow up with their prospects and make money. Even though you may not be an expert at this, you don't need to be an expert. And even if you are an expert, you probably should be delegating this to Andrew and his team. And I use the word delegate, okay? I don't want to use the word abdicate. Abdicate means you just hire somebody and you're not involved, and who the hell knows what's going on, and I hope it all works. Where abdicating is you're actually involved in the process, but you're not doing all the time-consuming things that Andrew and his company does for you.
Yeah, we still
Um,
want to talk to you. Like, I need to know how it's going responding to the leads. Like, I can see the cost per lead, but like, I can't tell your connection rate. Like, how many are you talking to and having conversations? What, because if every lead is telling you where to go, well, then that campaign, even though it's low cost per lead, might not be as good as one that's higher cost per lead, where they're like welcoming your call and thanking you for calling them. I'm not on those calls. I don't know. So, like, you still need to be involved in the process, but you're just kind of the expertise side of making sure they're done the right way. We're taking that off your plate, but you still need to pick up the phone and call people.
Does that make sense to everybody? You don't want just a bunch of leads, right? Because we don't want to make the mistake of saying, okay, we're going to run this certain campaign because it generates the most number of leads. We don't want to do that. We want to run the campaigns that generate the most amount of money, right? The highest
Yeah.
return on investment. In fact, how many of you watching this would rather have less leads and have to sift and sort through less leads and make more money rather than having to call 100 people to get one good one? Obviously, right? So there's strategy to this. And if we really study what the top realtors are doing, which I've been doing for 30 years. First, I was a top agent, and now I've been coaching them for a long, long time. You notice that there are certain things that top realtors do, and there's certain things that other agents don't do. So let's talk about what top agents do a great job of, Andrew.
I mean, one of the top things is really knowing their numbers of what's working or not. Like, a lot of people when they're kind of starting out, not sure what to do, they're copying like those top, like this is a great story. I remember it was an agent you and I both know because you competed with him. He does hundreds of deals a year in like the Richmond Hill area. And he reached out to Hyris one time and he's like, everything, he's like, if we work with you, you have to be exclusive because I'm the top. Like, you must remember this. When you were the top agent, everybody copies you as soon as you do anything. Right. Like they hire the same companies you hire, they copy the website, like everything is like, I'm going to copy what Craig's doing. And my favorite part is the next line he said, but nothing I've done online has worked before. So they were copying him, but none of it actually worked. And it's like they don't know the pieces that are actually making the thing work. And the top people understand, okay, if I'm measuring each step, I know where the numbers are off and what can work. And a
Exactly.
lot of everyone else is just, all right, I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall. Hopefully something sticks. I don't even know which one is sticking, but I did get a client one time, but they don't know what did that. Like I'll work with some, like, especially as like working with some of your titanium members where they'll be coming and be, okay, I have this contact percent rate of every lead that comes in. And like the different lead sources, like every lead source, they have the exact contact rate percentage. And then they go from there to say like, okay, then here's how many booked an appointment. Here's how many showed up at that appointment. Here's how many booked it in person. Here's how many in persons we converted. Like the amount of people that don't have any of that data. And even if you simplify and just said appointments booked from calls, even that simple, most people don't have. And those who track that, those are the ones we're seeing typically are a very good sign they'll be successful.
Okay, so let's categorize that under the best agents know their numbers. The top
Yep.
agents that we work with, they know their numbers inside and out, and they also stick with ideas
Yeah.
rather than giving up too early. So, for example, if you had $1, Andrew, for every time that somebody said to you, the leads are no good, you'd have a lot of dollars.
Yep.
Because agents usually give up on something without really trying to figure out how to make it work. So, in no way are Andrew and I suggesting that you continue with something that you've exhausted and it's not working. We want you to abandon. That's the beauty of direct response marketing, is the name would suggest you get an immediate direct response when you run our style of advertising. However, I see a lot of agents that will run a campaign or they'll try something on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and they don't stick with it. It's like, well, if it doesn't work right away, then they take the giant leap to Facebook doesn't work, YouTube doesn't work, Instagram doesn't work, nothing works. So I can promise you, you can make millions of dollars using all of this different media. And we're also fortunate today to have so much media available. Back when I started in real estate, there was, I don't know, like the newspaper, and then there was the newspaper, and then there was the newspaper, and then I think we had some bus benches and radio, and we had direct mail. So today, you guys have an awesome opportunity to really leap ahead of your competitors by working with people that actually know what's going on and then delegating that without abdicating and being involved in the process. Now, there's a free report I want to give to all of you. Okay, give it to you, $0, no obligation. I'm going to have Faith pull it up here and do a screen share. And this allows you to copy some of the most successful ads that our top agents are running today on social media. So it's a swipe file. There's no downside to this. In fact, there's huge upside. I would recommend that you type into comments right now that you would like, what are we calling this here? We would like let's go swipe file. Just type in, real estate ads or swipe file, maybe swipe file, type that in, and Faith will send that out to you. Okay, so that's my gift to you today. Just shows you examples and some of the strategies that we've talked about here today. So you have something to take away from our session. Also, so do that now. And if you haven't already checked in, let us know what city you sell real estate in. We get a lot of referrals here. And sometimes we don't have an agent, one of our members that are in the city that you're in where a buyer or seller is wanting to buy or sell, and we'll get you on our list. So remember, the biggest battle that real estate agents fight is obscurity. So don't be shy. Let us know that you're watching this. And the fact that you're still watching this, that's a good sign. That means you're interested, right? And if you're a real estate agent, you should be interested in learning smart, modern marketing that actually works, that's trackable. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, well, I'm doing a whole bunch of things that really, I don't know if they're working or not. That's a bad deal, right? Because that probably means you're spending a lot of money and a lot of time. If you don't know it works, the answer usually is that's because it's not working. Don't get stuck into a trap of, well, I just post things online because every other agent does that too. And that's what my broker told me to do. And it's just things I do, right? It's just stuff I do. How many of you maybe are guilty of, yeah, I really don't have an overall strategy. I know I need to be on social media. So every day I post a bunch of stuff, right? It doesn't have to always be about how to get a buyer or seller to call you. It doesn't have to always be a lead generator. You need to weave in your personal story, who you are. Remember, what's the goal? We want people to know you, like you. We want to position you as someone of authority. You're the expert. And you're going to make them offers. You're going to offer them things they really, really want, and they're going to contact you. And you might say, well, gee, Craig and Andrew, well, how do I know if I'm offering somebody, prospects, what they really, really, really want? Well, you're going to know, because if no one's responding, that means you're not offering what they want. And if a lot of people are responding, I would say to myself, you know what? I should do that more often. And that's exactly how I began in real estate. Is I had no clue. And it was through trial and error and testing and discovering, making a lot of mistakes and offering a lot of things that people didn't want, to find out exactly what they do want. Now, for you folks watching this, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We already know what the top agents are doing. We're working, Andrew and I are working with agents that are making millions of dollars a year using these strategies. How would you like, Andrew, just to set it up and run it all for you? Just run the ads, and all you have to do is handle the leads that come in. And I get to coach you up on how we follow up, and great listing presentations and buyer presentations. And when it all works, guess what happens? You have too many leads. Now, you might already have too many leads, but if you already have too many leads, or you want to have too many leads, here's the next step. Is when you have too much overflow, you can't do it by yourself anymore. So then we teach you, well, how can I partner up with some other agents? And you're doing all you can do. And then the overflow business goes to these other licensed agents. And eventually, over time, you could start to back yourself out, and you've got yourself a real business. How many homes could you sell if it had nothing to do with you? So that's the vision, right? And you're like, right now, you're like, well, when I go away on a vacation, my whole business stops. That's right, because you got a job. You think you have a business because you have business cards that have your name on it, and you have for sale signs on properties. And you say to your friends, I'm in the real estate business. But let's be honest, for most agents, they have a job. It's not even a great job, because they're working 7 days a week, and they're not even really making a lot of money. If you worked in corporate America in a sales position, you probably would have a company car. You'd probably make over $100,000 a year, and the company would provide you all the leads, right? You'd probably have 4 weeks paid vacation. None of that exists in ordinary real estate, but we can help you make millions of dollars. If you're going to make this sacrifice and have your own business, let's really have a business. It starts with lead generation, then we go to conversion, okay? Then we build in all these other systems. So eventually you make a lot of money, and you have more money, more time, and ultimately more freedom in your life. Now, if you'd like to book a call with me, it's free of charge for you to do that, no obligation. We're not going to try to sell you anything. We'll just explain what the Craig Proctor system is all about. We would ask you a few questions about how many homes are you selling now? You might say 25. How many homes you want to sell? I want to sell 50. Next obvious question is, well, if you're doing 25, but you'd like to do 50, how come you're not already doing 50? And you'll proceed to tell us what's holding you back. And we'll give you our free advice on what we would do if you were us. Now, if you like the call so much and you find us incredibly helpful, you may want to hire us, and we can talk about that as well on that call. To book a free call with my team and I, if you can go to proctorcall.com. I'll have Faith type that into the comments below. It'll be a clickable link, proctorcall.com. Also, you should reach out to Andrew. Andrew is a good guy. You know that because you've watched him here. He's very knowledgeable. He has a real estate background. He's actually been in real estate in the trenches. He lives about 15 minutes away from me. We talk all the time. As soon as I get a new coaching client, I send them over to Andrew, and Andrew's company sets them up and starts running the lead generation. Andrew, what would be the best way for real estate agents to reach out to you?
You can email me directly, andrew@justsellhomes.com. Nice and easy. You can reach out to me anytime. If you want to book a call, just go to bookandrew.ca, just forwards right to my Calendly, and I'm happy to jump on and chat with you there.
Andrew, it was great having you on here today. I hope
Thanks for having
everyone
me.
enjoyed this, enjoyed our interview. Let us know in the comments what you liked or what you didn't like. We'd love to have your feedback. Again, you can book a time with us, with me at proctorcall.com. We'll put Andrew's information and my information in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments. And that wraps up this edition of the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.